What's up, world of YouTube? This is my 1993 Harley Davidson FXR lowrider. I'm gonna do a little walk around and show you what's on the bike. Stay tuned. So here it is in all its glory. It's a 1993 Harley Davidson FXR lowrider. It is the 90th anniversary paint scheme on it. It's got the badge, painted side covers. Usually those would be just chrome or you get the half blacks. I've done a lot of work to this thing. It is, mostly original Harley parts, but just leaning towards the performance, high-speed touring type. Start here at the front. It's actually a Sportster front end off a Sportster Sport. It's got the adjustable rebound and compression. It's got rebound on the bottom, compression on top, and preload. Preload's pretty cranked down. I did a internal conversion because the Sportster front end would sit, I think it's 2.5 inches lower. I put in Dyna FXDX cartridges. It's the same internals, just different lowers. 99 and up lowers change. 99 and down, these are the 99 down lowers, so I kept the same brakes and just swapped in the internals and everything is identical. So I got I call it a 2-inch 2-over front end. It's basically factory Dyna FXDX or FXDXT front end height. And I'm loving it. This is a very, very good performing front end. It doesn't dive in corners, and it's got 1/4 inch sag when you're sitting on it, so it sits and looks tough. I've got the PM dual disc with some floating rotors and 13 spoke mags, spray painted black from the homeboy who I got the bike from. I've got a knockoff, it's not a true Harley Davidson crash bar, it's like custom chrome or whatever brand, but I think it fits the bike really well. Got the highway pegs on there for rolling down the freeway. Brings the bottom half of the bike together, and I love the look of the crash bars on these things. I think one of the coolest parts on this bike is this pipe. I got it from my boy at San Jose Customs here in the Bay Area. It is a RedThunder and Power Plant Cycles collaboration. They call it like the Thunder. I can't remember what the name they call it, but it is one of the best pipes you can get. You can see the coloring in this thing. This bike is jetted perfect. I get stock mileage, and this motor is built up. It's like a little baby Hot Rod 80, pushing 90, mid 90 horsepower. Stock, I believe, is like 60. So this pipe did this motor very well. I had a Thunder header on it before. I love those things. They sound amazing. They look amazing. They're just not built right, and they're not built for any flex. So any movement in the bike, they crack. I've broke 2 of them, spent the chunk of money, got this thing, and I haven't looked back. In the rear, I got the 14-inch Racing Bros piggyback shocks. I've had a couple sketchy shocks on there before. Spent the money, got some good stuff, and these things ride like a dream. They got high speed, low speed compression. They got rebound, and you can set the preload on them. Can't beat that. You can fit a bag, you can flip the reservoir, you can flip the shock around if you want to do like a factory style bag, flip the reservoir in front, and you'll be good to go. Bike's got a Saddlemen step-up seat. It's what everybody runs. It's a comfy seat. I'm 6'2", 6'3". It pushes me back and in the right spot to where my knees aren't, up into my chest on this bike. These aren't big bikes. It's bigger than a Sportster, maybe a little bit smaller, if not very comparable to a Dyna. So this seat is the most ideal one on the market. It's got a little stitch. It's gray. It's supposed to match the paint. I mean, you can't really tell. But yeah, I love the seat. I've done a couple hundred miles in a day, 200, 300, 400, 500 miles in a day, and it's all good. My ass brings it back to the PM in the rear with the floating rotor. Gotta be matchy-matchy. Gotta be matchy-matchy. I've got the Moons LED taillight in the black smoke. It's got the low profile, so it fits really good. It's a nice shape to bring out the back of the rear fender. Here's the seat. I got the factory seat hinge. I need to piece together the cable to keep this thing kind of upright, but factory hinge on the seat. Up top in the controls, we got the big Als high bend bars, factory Harley top clamp, and these are 6.5 and the, I guess, 1/2 inch pullback, just chrome like Drag Specialties risers. Super comfy. Like I said, I'm 6'2", 6'3", and this puts my arms just right under my shoulder. I'm coming from a dirt bike background, and I like it a little bit lower. Gives me that dirt bike feel, tons of control. I can throw this thing sideways into a corner, lay it down low, rolling through the mountains. Love this setup. A lot of people ask about the brake lines. It's actually a Big Als out in Santa Rosa area. Big Als kit, he's got 2 lines, 1 line per caliper. It's a very good brake feel. The routing, my biggest fault on this is the routing's kind of loose because you don't have this junction down at the bottom to split them. You can bend these wires out of the way, but the heat just kind of brings them right back to where they want to settle. But the performance out of this is killer. I would highly recommend. It's easy to bleed. It's easy to assemble. It's 2 lines, 1 bolt. Now for the motor, stock cases, stock bottom end. Bore size is just a little bit over stock. It's an 80-inch Evo. I dropped a lifter 3-4 years ago, took out the push rods, took out the cylinders, marred a bunch of stuff up. So I had my boys down at AE Customs in Campbell, Chris and Arash. Chris tore this thing apart, sent it out to RE Engineering, Roger over there, cleaned it up, did a custom head job on it. There's port and polish work done to it. Did Wiseco bump top pistons, so it's got 10.5 to 1 compression. Mikuni carburetor to top it off, that fire breathing carburetor. Yeah, this motor's hot. It's fun. It's simple. You can't beat it. You can't beat the little 80-inch power. I think factory these things are like 60 horsepower, and I haven't gotten it dynoed, but every spec I've seen other guys doing this motor, this pipe, or this style pipe combo, it's low to mid 90 horsepower, and I can definitely feel it. It gets up and it goes. This thing scoots. I love how it feels. It's got tons of low end torque. It's got an EV51 cam in it, so it hits on later. But the torque on this thing will take off, and then that cam kicks in and it just freaking goes. It's got a lot of high end, a lot of top end. It'll cruise down the freeway, 110, 120, no problem. Got just a bone stock 5-speed transmission. I decked the bike out with these little flame covers. I got the gas cap, and I got the covers on this side. Front, we got the Memphis shades. Rio Grande, I believe it is. I've got the tall one, and then over here on my wife's Sportster, she's got the short, so this is just the Grande, I believe. I'll put the link down in the description of, what it is. They got so many names on these things. I'm almost positive it's the Rio Grande. I got the tall one. She has the short one. Smoked. It looks great. I got a factory Harley Davidson like clear one. It starts down here. They look cool, but this thing just keeps the front end narrow, keeps everything high and tight, and it looks good. It looks fast. This thing's a ripper. I've put tons and tons of miles on it. Me and the boys ride all over the place. We go to a bunch of shows, campouts, weekend events, whatnot. I'm right here in Santa Cruz, so we rip up and down Highway 17, San Jose, SoCal, go up into the mountains, into like Tahoe and whatnot. This thing, you know, it's left me stranded. It's left me on the side of the road, but I love this bike. It gets me home. It gets me out riding with all the boys and my wife, and it's fun.